What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you're enjoying your Sunday evening. Hope you all have had a great weekend. I know I have. We're getting to experience my first snow here in my hometown, Central South Carolina. First time in 8 years. It was a really cool experience. I'm really glad I got to share it with all you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. But there's already something else to talk about for the latter half of this coming week. As we get into our work week, we get into this coming Friday and Saturday, and then into Sunday. There is the potential for a storm system, and this is probably going to be the dominant topic this week here in the weather world as we're trying to see what this is going to do, unless it trends completely away. But if anything today, trends have actually gotten more favorable for this to happen, especially the ensemble runs. Compared to the operational runs, the ensemble runs are definitely more supportive for some kind of impactful storm system along the eastern U.S. So if you guys have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button for me. Like the video if you like it. That goes a long way, folks. It really does, and I appreciate the amazing support. I'm already about to hit 20K, and that was actually my goal for 2022, but I guess I'll just hit it here in the first month of the year. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for the amazing support. Appreciate all the love, guys. Appreciate the few people who have joined my channel. That goes a long way each month. It really does. I love y'all guys so much, and thank y'all. Thank y'all for anything. I encourage y'all to hit me up on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram. It's a great way to stay up to date. At least every couple hours. Obviously, I can't make a video, every couple hours. So it's a great way to stay up to date when we're tracking a big time system like this. I remind you guys, if you guys got anything that I can pray about, anything that anybody else can pray about, put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray for you guys. It gives others an opportunity to do so too. I don't just say that just to say it. When you guys put a prayer request in those comments, I stop on the dime. It doesn't matter where I'm at, and I go on and pray for that situation that you're going through or whatever you want me to pray for right then. So let's get going here. We're going to look at the GFS run. We're going to look at the GEFS run, which is the ensembles for the GFS. We're going to look at the European run, and then we're going to look at the EPS, which is the European ensembles. And we're going to compare and contrast because it's very important because they don't agree with one another. Then we're going to take a look at the ICON, the Canadian model, and kind of what's driving this system, and we're going to get into that. So we're not going to get super detailed on the specifics as far as snowfall accumulations. There's really no point at this range. But as we're freezing this time frame into Friday evening, what we got going on here is the potential for a low pressure developing off the coast of the southeast. How far close, how quickly does it phase, does it come together? Well, we've already seen a couple crazy runs where it comes together pretty quickly and plasters the southeast with a big-time snowstorm, and then it carries on up into the mid-Atlantic to the northeast and becomes a blizzard and all out nor'eastern. Well, here we go. This is the operational GFS. Remember, the run last night showed 2 to 3 feet of snow over South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. This run does not, and none of the other runs have. But trust me, if you guys want snow on the eastern U.S., don't get discouraged off one change in one operational run. You got to look at everything as a whole and look at the ensembles and everything like that and the pattern in place that really puts this all together. This is a very favorable setup, I'm telling you. But we look at the GFS. It's a miss, right? The operational run is a miss. It gets very close. For areas of the southern New England, Boston, it looks like y'all on the northwest side of the gradient of the snow. If you're looking at this run and you're taking it as if it's going to happen, which you don't, this is a pretty strong system right here, right? We look at ensembles. We'll go back it up to right here, and we'll freeze this here. And here's the ensemble run. Remember, all these numbers right here are potential low pressures. That doesn't mean you're going to have 20 different low pressures out here. This is ensemble, so it's trying to show you where a potential low pressure could be. We run this here, and basically where these circles get tighter circles right here, that's trying to predict where it thinks a low pressure will be. And then these numbers right here, like I said, they symbolize low pressures, and they're very close, right? They're starting to group up. You back this up one run, and look, it's backed up a little bit further east. You back this up another run, and it's a little bit more east and a little bit more south. So you back it up to the present run, 1, 2. Notice how close this gets to the coast? That's a trend, right? We look for trends at this range. We'll back it up to the Friday evening time frame. You back this up run, back this up another run. Look, they're a lot more everywhere, right? The numbers are a lot more scattered and smothered, kind of like when you go to Waffle House here in the South. Anyways, you go to the present run, and the numbers are a little bit closer together, and then basically that circle is basically closer to the coast. That tells us that there's a trend in the ensembles that this is coming a little bit more west, which would mean a more impactful storm for the eastern U.S. You look right here, and we'll back this up to that OOZ run, has a storm right here. Let's go on and get this to the 12Z, right? So this is Saturday morning. Now we'll bring this to 12Z, which is Saturday morning. So the operational run has low pressure here. And then the ensembles have a lot of low pressure, really pretty close to right in here. So this isn't the greatest example. Let's look at the European run. This is a much better example of what I'm trying to display here. We're getting into this system. It starts to develop a low pressure here. You have snow showing up in eastern North Carolina and the outer banks of North Carolina. That tells you that you have cold air coming in. So if you can get this to move in, you'll probably have a big time snowstorm for somewhere in the Carolinas, especially North Carolina. So you freeze this here, you're getting going here in time, and it's a miss for the Northeast. For you folks who really want a snowstorm in the Northeast, this is a miss. And it's trying to say where the low pressure is way out here. But if you look in the ensembles for that same time period, which is 12Z, look how close all these potential low pressures could be. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Look how close this potential low pressure could be. It's trying to tell you all the basically locations that this low pressure can be. So it's a lot more closer, right, than the operational run. You back it up and look at the operational run. It's trying to tell you a low pressure is way over here. But on the ensemble runs, it's a much closer. In fact, a lot of these runs right here would be a significant hit for the Northeast. So let's look at the Icon run, right? The Icon run only goes out to 120 hours. We fast forward here, low pressure flying through the Gulf, and then we'll freeze it at the very end. And here it comes. You got a piece of energy coming together here and a low pressure developing off the coast of the Southeast. This is way out here, right? But you already see the ingredients coming together. Icon is a very, very cold run. You got high pressure way up over here. You got cold air digging down. You got blues showing up as far south as South Carolina. This is as far out as this run goes. To me, I think this was heading towards a bigger run. It might still be a near miss, but you can already tell what's about to happen here. You have the snow breaking out already across most of the eastern U.S. You have a deepening low pressure right here. You look at the Canadian model, and Canadian model is a miss for the Southeast. But then, well, it's not really a miss, actually. I forgot that it actually shows freezing rain, which is very odd to me. But it shows this piece of energy right here. Here comes developing low pressure. You have a wintry mix breaking out Friday morning in portions of South Carolina. This continues to roll through. Then you have a deepening low pressure with cold air filtering in, very cold air. And this low pressure is deepening. It's very close to the coast. You have a moderate winter weather event popping off here. And then it really comes together. And the Canadian is very close to the eastern seaboard as we're getting into Friday evening, and it's starting to crank up a major winter storm. It's even snowing back in the PD of South Carolina. This would show a massive precipitation field, which doesn't look very realistic to me, but this would be an all-out blizzard for areas in the interior New England areas, and Boston would be a very impactful storm. This is trying to show a 957 millibar low pressure, which is equivalent to probably a Category 2, Category 3 hurricane. Don't tell everybody there's going to be a snow hurricane that's going to hit the U.S. Please don't. But this is a very strong system. This would be blizzard conditions and all that kind of stuff. So you look at what's bringing this together, and you have a low pressure here. You have basically a trough digging right here, filtering some cold air. You don't really have any kind of big time blocking going up here in the up here in northern areas of North America. So it's not really going to slow down the storm or anything where the storm slows down here and just brings blizzard conditions for the Northeast for 36 to 48 hours. But it doesn't matter. This could could become a strong system, especially if it becomes kind of a negatively tilted trough. If it does that, then it's basically a much stronger system. Stronger winds are involved, and it's basically a strengthening system. If it's more positively tilted, progressive, then it's a weaker system. But obviously those can work out sometimes also, but you really want this. If you want a winter storm across the eastern U.S., you really need this to phase back here somewhere. There's a couple pieces of energy right in here that you need to come together, kind of like the last system when we talked about that. We got to watch to see if they come together here. Last thing I'll show you, and I know there's no point in making 20-minute videos about this. There really isn't. We really need the models to come in agreement with this system. Last thing I'll show you guys is the GEFS ensembles. As we're rolling through here in time, we're getting into the range of the system Saturday morning, Sunday. I want you to back it up here. Notice you don't really see anything in here, right? What you do see is just some energy flying around this time of the week. Now watch as I move this into the later part of this coming week. Look at this. You have a signal showing up for the Delmarva area, New England, southern New England, and Maine. That is a pretty stout signal for Maine. I mean, almost a foot for mean showing up in Maine. That's a pretty strong signal that Maine is going to see an impactful system out of this. But the operational runs really aren't biting on this. So I'll end up by saying this, and yes, you see a little bit of a signal here in the South Carolina, the Carolinas also. I really think if you're in like northeast, no, basically, I think if you're in the eastern North Carolina, points northeast, you need to watch out for the storm. But for South Carolina too, this has potential. I'll just use that word. But at this range, the specifics, there's none. Absolutely none. And I'll mention, I don't, unless I wake up and the models are showing some crazy stuff, I'm probably not going to double up my videos tomorrow. There's really no point, but we'll see how that goes. But that's all I got, guys. We're trying to figure out what's going to happen. And if anything, this has trended more towards a storm happening somewhere along the eastern seaboard. And it could come together. It really has all the makings to be a significant system, but you're not seeing any crazy runs today. You really aren't. That's all I got, guys. Y'all have a great night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.